Hi everyone, Laura here. Thanks so much for stopping by my channel. You may have seen my first video that I posted about my jaw surgery preparation and recovery tips and a little bit about my story that I posted a couple months ago. If you haven't seen that video and you're curious, I will link it down below so you can hear more about why I had jaw surgery and my initial thoughts that I wanted to share about how to prepare and recover for the process. And as I mentioned in that video, I did have jaw surgery twice, so I wanted to do a follow-up video because since I filmed the first one, I've thought of more specific and focused pointers that I'd like to share in terms of the recovery process. And in honor of the almost 4-year anniversary of having the double jaw surgery, revision surgery done, I thought this was very appropriate timing. If you'd like to hear more, just keep on watching. And in no specific order, let's just get started. And what better place to start than bodily functions. I was really nervous before both surgeries about the catheter thing. I'd never had one before for any reason, and I just thought that was going to be really embarrassing, and that's a dumb thought to have. Just don't waste your time with that. Just embrace it, use it. I mean, you got no choice really. Your body will feel like 5,000 pounds when you're going to walk. I just felt really heavy after the first time I got out of bed after the surgery, and was just super grateful to have the ease of being able to relieve myself in that way. Also, bowel movements. I did not have one, I don't think, for at least 10 days after the first and second surgeries, and I survived. It was weird. I know, okay, sorry if this is getting off to a gross start, but honestly, this is real life, and this is what I went through, and hopefully this helps someone in some capacity by hearing this. And now that we've got those 2 points out of the way, let's just carry on in no specific order. My next suggestion would be to just have your smartphone with you at all times. I mean, that might be obvious, I don't know, but it really is. Assuming you have one, your connection to the outside world, and texting's great, and whatever social media you enjoy, whatever shows you want to watch, just have that with you in the hospital and for the times that you're just laying low while you're recovering afterwards. I found that my face seemed to shapeshift even over the years after all the inflammation goes down, after your muscles are sort of resizing themselves and getting accustomed to the way they now function with the new landscape of your face. I find that they shrink because you're not mashing on them necessarily all the time like you were in the past. And this is kind of how things have been explained to me by my dentist over time, and it is a really long, slow, gradual process. I mean, of course, the initial swelling, which you'll have seen in the thumbnail photo of this video, is the most extreme, and then so you're going to notice the biggest difference in the first couple weeks with it going down because there's more to go down, so it goes down faster. But gradually over time, as all the muscles in your face are developing new habits and new locations of getting accustomed where they are now, I think that it's just okay to expect that you might catch yourself looking in the mirror months after your surgery and think you look different again. And for me, sometimes I wondered if I had a nose job. I found that perhaps because of the widening of my upper palate, that impacted the shape of my nose. So it's like, did I get a jaw surgery or a nose job? Definitely a jaw surgery, but notice a shift in the shape of my face in that capacity. So that might be something that you experience too, and I suppose that's normal. If you do lose a significant amount of weight, like I think I lost both times, I think after the first surgery I lost about 12 pounds in a few days, and a lot of it's fluid, like water weight, I suppose. But because I did have to have the surgery redone, it was worth it to me to invest in some clothing that fit better, that wasn't so big on me, and I just went as cheap as I could with that. I shopped at Winners, and I had to go back to work eventually in between the 2 surgeries, and I wanted to feel as good as I could about myself in my body while I was living my day-to-day life while I was waiting for the next surgery. So it was definitely worth spending some money on some proper fitting clothes. And then you've got your clothes to go back to when you've gained that weight back. And while you have the lower weight while you're recovering, some people might tell you how good you look, and I don't think it's great to put too much stock into those comments because they might be trying to say that out of, oh, you look great, and trying to boost your spirits about the whole situation. But I don't think it's good to get too hung up on that sort of compliment because while you might look great in that capacity, you aren't really that healthy. and it's important to have a bit more weight and be healthy and overall just be feeling good. Weight's a touchy subject, but those are just my thoughts on that matter. Could come up for you, I don't know. I found that over the whole process of, even though the first couple years, every so often my jaw would make popping and clicking noises that I thought would be just done after I would have had the surgeries, and no, I mean, everything's still taking a long, slow process to readjust and be where it needs to be, and I was reassured many times that it's just kind of all part of the process, assured by orthodontists and dentists, and it shattered my expectation that those things might totally disappear. So maybe just be warned that, or not warned, I don't want to make it sound scary, but advised that that could happen. And similarly, I thought that I would just be able to eat really crunchy, chewy foods again with this new jaw that I'd have, but not the case. I still cut up tons of food that I cut up before, take small bites, chew carefully, and accept that I just don't have the opportunity that I may have hoped for to just eat whatever the heck I want, whenever the heck I want, as chewy, as crunchy as possible. It's just still about maintaining that healthy part of the new shape of your jaw and accepting that there still are some limitations, and that even though those are new limitations, I think they're better limitations than the ones in the past where I would just be in so much pain eating chewy and crunchy foods. So it's something that I still believe it was worth going through the procedure twice, and I do tell people I'd go through both surgeries again to get to the point of a better level of comfort where I'm at today. So I hope that's reassuring to you on some level. Also, you'll have a new placement of your teeth. I'm assuming a lot of the times with jaw surgery you have it in conjunction with orthodontic work, and that realigns your teeth in different positions, and so I have gaps further back in my mouth between teeth where I didn't before, and that's where food tends to get stuck, and it's really annoying. But you adapt, and you can carry little like toothpick things with you and similar devices that you can use to, you know, get that unlodged from your teeth, and you just adapt, and there are ways around it. This is what it is. I also found as the muscles were kind of adjusting in my face over the months that my speech kind of shifted too. It's just a matter of like everything and getting used to this new positioning, and perhaps that's a normal thing, and that was not something I was told about, but it wasn't a huge issue or anything. It was just something I noticed, and that might be good to advise others that might happen, and I think it's normal. The opening capacity of your mouth might be significantly limited after you have this procedure done, and for me, I think I'm at the minimum expected, whether it's 35 or 45 millimeters. Oh gosh, I should have checked before I'm talking about this. But I'm at that, and since I've had further prosthetic dentist work, I've gotten some more mobility and opening movement capacity, so that's been good. But going back to the smaller bites and cutting things up, that's partly where I'm coming from in that too. So just kind of have that in mind. I probably didn't expect to have the limited opening as much as I do, and it's just something to think about. Oh yeah, get a really funny show that you'll just love, or any show you'll love and watching while you've got so much downtime and on the couch. I particularly loved Parks and Recreation. I think I plowed through all 5 seasons at the time, and I remember laughing and just like holding my face because it hurt so badly to laugh, but it felt so good to laugh at the same time. Definitely get a show that you love. Helps boost the spirits while you're not able to really do a whole lot. However, in terms of doing things, do get up and go for walks. Even when you feel mildly depressed, you might have a bit of a depression for a few days or so after the surgery, which I think is the normal sort of come down from anesthetic. And from my understanding, I can't really explain it from a medical standpoint, but from what I went through and what I was told, that yes, you can go through a bit of a depressed state for a certain amount of time afterwards, just what happens sometimes. And I did kind of go through that, and I did really have to force myself sometimes to get up and get out and get some fresh air, just walk down the hallway of, if you live in an apartment block, say, and just something, anything, just make sure you're mobile and just training yourself to be stronger and stronger every day, mentally and physically, both super important. Fresh air does wonders. Occasionally I did, I think immediately after the surgeries, or not immediately, but like a few weeks after, I felt like my teeth were a bit loose. When I was able to start to chew a little bit, it felt like they were moving a bit, and to this day I still sense a tiny bit of that, but apparently that's like my mind playing tricks on me from what I've been told. And my teeth obviously aren't actually really loose. I haven't had any related problems to that, but I've been told, I think the orthodontist assistant sort of mentioned that that can happen. Don't know how to explain it any further. Thought it was really weird, was really worried, but it seems to be all good, so just mentioning it here to advise you to not panic too much about that if it happens to you. And that's all I've got for today. I'm sure there's more I missed. I'm sure there are things I could elaborate on. If you have any questions about any specific thing I've mentioned or any tips of your own you'd like to share, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. If you'd like me to elaborate on anything, if you have any other questions about the process you think I might be able to help with, just leave me a comment or question below. I really hope that this was informative and valuable. Thanks so much for spending some time with me, and I look forward to speaking to you in the next video. Feel free to share this video with anyone you think might enjoy it or benefit from it, and you can consider subscribing to my channel for notifications on when I post content in the future. Thanks again. Bye for now.